Robbing tourists daily. Hit for 30,000, hit for 100,000. Every time I go in, come out, the game is changing. When you're from Miami, this is the progression of criminal activity. My first time going to juvenile, I was 8 years old, and it's been a pattern throughout my life. Like, if I give you a timeline of how long I've been down, this is as long as I ever been out right now, Matt. You know what I mean? Like, literally, I've been from boys' school programs, 11 years in the state of Florida, Okeechobee Boys School, 16 years in the feds. Everybody know Miami was a source city and what Miami was built off. You know what I mean? I'm talking about you got the Zello Bronco them time. You know what I mean? The big kingpins out of Miami. So I came up in that environment, and one of the memories that I have that stuck with me and still stick with me to today is the McDuffie riots.
Okay.
Which took place 1980. You know what I mean? I was 7 years old at that time, and they sent us to school during the riot. But it was like they didn't know if the riot was going to actually happen or not. They still waiting on the verdict. So it's like normal operation. Everything's still going the way it's going. But they sent us to school, and all I could remember was they stopping school midday, right before lunch, and saying that we are being sent home early. I remember it turning like pitch dark in the middle of the day, but it wasn't because of eclipse or nothing. It was black clouds of smoke. The city was on fire.
And this is because there was a verdict for, what was the verdict? What was the case?
The case was the police had killed the unarmed insurance man named McDuffie. You could look it up. This particular riot I'm telling you about, I'm 7 years old. Picture me being a kid, this age, and you walking through smokes, buildings being burnt down. It's like some shit out of the Middle East. You know what I mean? Like when they show you the clips of Pakistan or wherever, you know what I mean? Afghanistan or wherever, we're just demolished. And we walking through this, and I'm seeing the neighborhood junkie. I'm seeing my homeboy, uncle, and all of them running out the stores, looting. And me and my friends, we kids unsupervised, we join in, you know what I mean? So I got a shopping cart now. I got all kind of loot in there. And all I could think about, how am I gonna get away with getting this back into the house with my mom not asking me where this, you know what I mean? But come to find out, my mom works on the other side of the town, and they done cut off access. She's in the rich part of the city, and she can't get back, so I'm unsupervised for a big time during a riot. So that was kind of like what shaped the violence, the drug dealing, all that type of stuff was kind of shaped what led me into the life of what I end up, what we here talking about today.
How long till that kind of develops into actual crime? Like
I spoke about the riot for a reason, to show you. After this riot took place in my lifetime, Miami was nothing. It was like nobody had money at this time. Only people had money was hustlers, drug dealers, dope boys, robbers. So you ask me when it broke into serious crime, it broke into serious crime with me. I had a choice. Either I could sell drugs or I could rob. But in Miami, selling drugs was organized. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't like you see today where guys could just go answer their phone and make a play. You had to be selected to be part of a crew to sell drugs in Miami. You know what I mean? So at this particular time, that was a slow process for me. So I came out the house robbing. You know what I mean? I started as soon as I got out of elementary. From between elementary school, from the time I'm telling you about this riot and the time I'm telling you about me stealing out the store, the truck, I went into selling cans. My normal hustle would be get out of school, sell some, collect my cans for the weekend. I'm trying to go hang out on the weekend. Sell bottles, pump gas at the gas station, bag grocery. No breaking the law type of things, but it's just the property that growing up in Miami, and I wasn't the only kid doing this, you know what I mean? But when I got to junior high school, I became what I consider into girls, into being a player, you know what I'm saying? And being that my mom wasn't going to afford that type of lifestyle, I got to get some money.
So collecting cans and doing it anymore.
Cans and bagging groceries, that was pocket change. I need some real money now. At this time, you know, Louis Vuitton is out, Gucci's out. This like 86 now, 80. You know what I'm saying? I'm in junior high now. I'm in 6th grade, 7th grade. You know what I mean? I want the gold teats. I want the jewelry, the rope chains. I want what I see the local guys and the players got. So I changed my name to Lil Gigolo. You know what I'm saying? I gave my name myself at this particular time. Everybody knew me from the hood as being Lil Pig, which is my dad's name, Pig. And I'm like, that ain't flying. That ain't cool enough. So I come up with the name Gigolo, right? And that's a whole story in itself. But I come up with the name Gigolo, and I got to live up to this Gigolo lifestyle. So now, either sell drugs or rob.
And you don't really have a network to sell drugs yet.
I'm not chosen yet.
All right.
I'm not chosen yet. The guys that's selling drugs, they gotta chose you. You know what I'm saying? They gotta put you down.
What are you robbing? Are these stores or drug dealers, or is it just across the board? Anything? Burglaries?
I was never brave enough for burglaries.
Okay.
Let's get that understood. The confidence that you need, the level of thought. Just imagine somebody breaking your house, what you gonna do to them?
Right.
You know what I mean? I rather know what I'm finna go into, guns out first. I start robbing at the light, the traffic light. You gotta realize Miami is 2 things going on in Miami: tourism. You know what I'm saying? And parties. People here. This is a party city, so. I don't want to rob the drug dealers. I don't want to rob the hustlers because it's a repercussion coming behind that.
Yeah, they'll come back on.
You know what I'm saying? I got to watch my back now. So, no offense, I'm looking for the white guys. I'm looking for the white people. I'm looking for the people with the money because the people that look like me ain't got no money. So
Okay.
I'm robbing tourists.
So this is some guy wanders in the wrong neighborhood, or you go into these neighborhoods where the hotels are, motels are, and you're just kind of hanging out till they.
At this time, Miami, if you just imagine going to a city you're not from, you're not familiar with the roads, you're gonna make the wrong turn. You stick out more than you think to the natives, to the locals. So when you make a wrong turn, you driving down the wrong way on a one way. I'm looking up now. Your light on inside your car. It was certain things that we were looking for. I don't know if you know, but tourist robberies was big in Miami. Like it became an epidemic. Like they had created new charges for us. I got homeboys out of Robin Hood, the whole neighborhood that was named based upon tourist robbery that went to the feds for robbing tourists. So I'm targeting the people that I want based upon them they riding with a map on the dashboard, or they riding, like I say, down the wrong one way. You're giving yourself up. You know what I mean? And you're a vacationer, so most likely you're coming with thousands of dollars.
Well, I know in the 80s it was so bad that they changed the tags because the rental cars had a certain tag.
Exactly.
And so
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, in Orlando, they actually they started issuing all the rental car companies regular tags so people wouldn't be able to target them. Supposedly.
That started in Miami. Miami, they had the Y on the tag or they had the Z on the tag. You could know. Then they had the little sticker. Like they made these people targets. You see what I'm saying? And we took advantage of that. We called them funk.
But
that was the term. That's funk right there. You know what I mean? That's funk. I mean, we finna funk them. We finna rob them.
But they're not carjackings because you're not taking the vehicle, right? You're just robbing them. And
I'm not. What I need. I don't need the vehicle.
Okay.
That's too much. I just need to get in and out like a robbery. I need to bust the window. You know what I mean? Grab the pocketbook. In some cases, but when I first started though, Matt, to be honest with you, the spark plug wasn't a part. I gotta tell you that wasn't a part of the game. That's how we broke the window with the spark plug. That came later on in like the 90s. I was armed robbing in the 80s. I was like literally 12, 13 years old, robbing with a pistol, robbing with a gun. You know what I mean? Me and my co-defendant, his name KK, shot to KK. He ended up doing 17 years. He was younger than me. I'm gonna tell you about this one particular robbery that we did. We was going. I was 15. I know I was 15 at the time because KK was 14. We was coming out the Omni Mall, which is located where the Miami Heat play at, the Miami on Biscayne Boulevard. So it's a lot of money around this neighborhood. But right next to the Omni Mall is a hood called Overtown. So you got money right here, Brickell right here, over downtown Miami right here, and you got Overtown. I was hanging with one of my homeboys from over town. He had a summer job, him and his cousin. Shout out to my homeboy Dooney and Pat. They had worked all summer, right? So they was going, hey man, y'all come to go to the mall with us, man. We finna go buy some clothes. It's like the year like 88, 89. I remember because NWA was out and they had done came out. One of the songs Easy was saying, I got my white t-shirt, Levi's was my only disguise, and everybody in Miami wanted to be like NWA at the time, so I wanted me some Levi jeans. So we go to the mall, Dooney and Pat, they buying their Levi jeans. Me and KK, we got gun. I think KK had like a 38, and I had a revolver. Because it was heavy. I remember going in the mall and trying on clothes, and even though I ain't had no money, I'm still trying to try on the Levi's because I know I'm finna get me some money. You know what I mean? I got my gun. I'm finna get me some money. So I'm trying Levi's on, but I remember taking the gun out in the dressing room, and I remember saying, "Damn, sometimes they got these reverse mirrors." And I wonder if they could see me. So I kept saying, fuck this shit, man. I'm ready to go, KK, because I'm getting paranoid inside the mall. Make a long story short, Dooney and Pat come out with their shopping bags. Me and KK, we ain't got nothing. But as we turn it, it's a Burger King right there. As we heading towards Overtown walking, I see the Funk, which is what I some white people look like they got it. Some we call them Muppet heads too. They gray headed, they Funk. I see the Rolex.
This is horrible, by the way. This is horrible.
Listen, it's a true story. I mean, I can laugh about it now. I regret it. It cost a lot of time out my life. My co-defendant court 17 years. But you asked me my story, I'm giving it to you. You know what I mean? Uncut, unchased, right?
Right. Don't stop. I'm just fucking around.
I had an eye for like certain detail. The man throwed his arm up, and I could peep it. It was a Rolex.
All right.
It was a Rolex. I could know the band. I see the little gold going through the silver. And I'm like, I tell KK, like, we had done did so many of these. It's like we operated out of one mind. KK went to the passenger side. I went straight. I was tunnel vision on the Rolex. I pulled my gun on the driver. Give it up, motherfucker. You know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it a homicide. You know how type of the robbery talk, the lingo. I had it down pat. They screaming, the lady screaming. Cars at this time are going around the car. Nobody's trying to help. Right? So KK got the pocketbook. He put it around his neck. The man is taking a little longer because, it's a little long. He's shaking. I'm helping him get the watch off. I want your wallet too. He give me the wallet. As he's giving me that, I hear freeze, motherfucker, freeze. The next thing you know, before I could turn, I hear shots. Boom, 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 boom. There's a black BMW. I can remember this like yesterday. Black BMW. The man is in between the door, and he's in the police stop. You know what I mean? In between the door of his driver door, and the gun is pointing towards us, and he's fired because KK already fired back at him. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? I look at the corner of my eyes. I see Dooney and Pat cross the street. It's other cars running. Now we in a full-blown shootout with this hero. That's what we label them, heroes. So we shooting out with the hero, and it's some little poles, like, I don't know if you know, like little poles that pose to prevent cars from running into, like, to be normally at car lots and stuff.
Yeah.
And bullets are ringing. I'm hearing them hit the poles by me. Ding, ding. So in order to not say that I didn't get off or I was a chump, I let off a couple shots inside the car of the victims, which they wasn't firing. Just to say that I got off, I takes off running. I try to give my gun to Dooney them to put in the bag. They like, no. So we end up running.
Because you don't want to get caught with the gun.
I didn't want to get caught with the gun. We end up running. I got separated from KK. It's a graveyard right there. And if you from Miami, you know the area I'm talking about. There's a graveyard right there. KK stopped to shake the pocketbook in the graveyard. I kept going. I ended up ultimately going to jail. KK ended up going to jail.
Most people trade nutrition for convenience. You wake up late, skip breakfast, and tell yourself you'll eat healthy tomorrow. By noon, you're in the drive-thru at McDonald's. That was me until I found Cashapp. It's a whole body meal that actually tastes great and keeps me on track even on the busiest days. Cashapp has 85 plus superfoods and nutrients, plus 25 grams of plant-based protein. No soy, no gluten, no preservatives, just fuel your body actually needs. I like to drink the chocolate flavor. It tastes like dessert, but actually fills me up for hours. I've been using it for months now, and I can honestly say I feel the difference. My energy lasts all day, and my focus is way better. So if you're tired of making bad food decisions, make one good one instead. Go to Kachava.com and use code ITC for 15% off your next order. That's KACHAVA.com, code ITC for 15% off. How's that happen when you go to jail? It's like you get grabbed by the cops?
Yeah, I got grabbed. KK got caught in between. Overtown, I told you the hood is not far from there. I made it back all the way to Overtown, put my gun up, right? I took my shirt off. There's police sign. As I'm running, certain kind of police are passing me, going to the scene. I'm still waiting. I'm in the hood now, waiting on KK to make it back. And I see like a detective car. They were riding these little Chryslers back then. And I'm standing in the project called Rainbow Projects. And I'm standing there with my shirt off. I still got the man watch in my pocket. I still got the wallet in my pocket. And the car just zoomed in on me, man, and just hit me with the bumper of the car. This a detective called Curly Perm. He was from Overtown. Everybody know who Curly Perm was. He ran into me, knocked me down. I ended up going to jail. KK was already in jail. He was already apprehended. I don't know who singled me out or whatever, but I end up, maybe one of the locals around is him. And I end up going to juvenile. KK ended up catching 17 years. I end up beating, as us being juvenile, they couldn't just try us as an adult.
Why did he get 17?
I'm finna tell you that. Because they have to have what they call a waiver hearing to direct file us from a juvenile state to adult, being tried as an adult. What takes place is a waiver hearing. It's like a mini trial.
Yeah.
I didn't get identified.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, I didn't get identified. I won the trial. I shouldn't never even much have this on my record. But me being ignorant to the law, I ended up letting my mom get in my head, you did it. And I ended up going to boys' school.
So you plead guilty?
I pleaded guilty.
Okay.
Joining with another charge that I had, but I didn't have to do it because I won the trial, basically the mini trial. And KK went to the adult system and got tried as an adult. Ended up doing 17 years.
What happened with the hero? Did you ever find, was he like an off-duty cop?
No.
Or?
The funny shit, that's the fun, I left that out. The funniest shit, he was married to a juvenile female judge.
Okay.
He was a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
He's a lawyer. His wife is a judge. So he's basically a law. He's part of the law. He's part of the system.
Okay. So he sees two people getting robbed. He stops and
right.
offers assistance.
Right.
All right. Well, so how long were you locked up then?
I went to Okeechobee Boys School from 89 to like 91. I came home from 91.
How was Okeechobee Boys School?
Listen, I done been to penitentiaries in the feds. I done been to some of the roughest level state penitentiaries in Florida. Just imagine being locked up with juveniles. There's no guidance. There's no, like, dudes sticking their hand in your food just because they tired of waiting in line. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just motherfuckers throwing hot water on a motherfucker because they bored. You know what I mean? Juvenile is one of the hardest places I ever done time at. Okeechobee Boys School. But
you get out of Okeechobee, you go back home. Your poor mom. But you go back home to mom?
I mean, at this time, right?
And how old are you?
I'm at this time, 17. I want to say 17. 'Cause I'm still in high school.
Okay.
I came home in 91, so I'm like 17. Basically an adult. Like I've been an adult my whole life. So I come home, the game done changed now. Like when I went in the 80s, back then, $100, $200, $300, you could get fresh.
Right.
Get fresh means you could find some clothes. I come home now, it's like what I got on right now, polo. It's polo, it's design, smaller designer now. At this time, Tommy's out, Nautica, Jordan is out. Like,
I was gonna say, tennis shoes are $200.
Right. And then I come home, my homeboys, they're robbing tourists now, but everybody's not robbing with guns. They comes the smash and grab era. Look it up. It's like smash and grab. Like, I don't know who thought of this. I don't know how it happened, but a little piece of the spark plug, a little white piece of the spark plug would shatter a whole window in instance. So this smash and grab is going crazy. All my homeboys got 30s and lows. JT Money done made songs. He's a local rapper. He done made songs off of all this. Fuck that shit. School ain't for me. It just stopped me from getting dollars. Fuck being a scholar. So this like in my head now. If nobody don't tell you the music affects the culture, they lying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm home. I want to change. I'm like, fuck, I don't. KK McCodafin, he's doing 17 years. You know, I want to. They got me a little job being a dishwasher. You know what I mean? I'm like, shit, this is not gonna work. My homeboy, I'm leaving school now. I'm not even staying in school. I'm leaving. Lunchtime come. We hanging out just long enough to go to lunch, hanging out the girls. We on robberies. We call them going on a route. We on a route now. We robbing tourists daily. And I did that for a while, and then I finally got kind of broke into the app. One of my older cousins put me down with a spot called Peeping. They sold butter. We just gonna say butter for safety, you know what I mean? You know what, cake, whatever you want to call it, right? White girl. And we were booming. I got on the line with my homeboys on the app. I'm making money selling.
What are you saying, on the app?
On the app, 15 Ave.
Oh, Avenue. Okay.
Avenue. On the Avenue. That's just that Florida slang, that Miami slang, but the Ave.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? The Avenue. 15 Ave, one of the major scripts in Miami, you know what I mean? I was already familiar with the homies on there, even before I went to juvenile, before I went to boys' school, but when I came home now, like I'm not turning no money down. You know, I'm watching guys that was hustling, selling drugs. They up. My homeboys up robbing. I'm into everything. You know what I mean? Like my mom used to say, you into everything but a coffin. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm going hard. But it's like everything I tried, I was never good at. Like I'm constantly going in and out of jail, and I end up catching another bid.
What was that? What happened? How does that?
A robbery, tourist robbery. I finally got popped for robbing tourists.
Poor tourists.
I'm going
wandering
back.
in the wrong neighborhood.
I'm going. It was the thing in Miami. Like anybody that's from Miami will tell you, like it wasn't no pettiness going on. I had homeboys, including myself. Like I done hit for 10,000 at one time. You know, grabbing pocketbooks. Like so, you know, I got homies done hit for 30,000. Homeboys that hit for numerous. I done had homeboys hit for 100,000. Caught some Japanese people, some yen.
Right.
We got so high tech with it. We knew how to take the foreign money, get caught with Japanese yen, Dutch marks.
Right.
We was able to take those back to the foreign exchange. Like the people knew they seen us coming, like they were cheating us.
Right.
Because we didn't really know the whole value of it. Sometimes this money is worth more than the American dollar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all according to how the stocks market or however going. We didn't know. We just know we got a bunch of it. What you gonna give us? You know what I mean? We learned how to get rid of the travel checks. We had homegirls that worked the credit cards. So out of one book, we getting numerous ways to make some money. I ended up catching 7 years, man. I ended up doing I ended up doing 2 bids in the state of Florida.
Well, wait, but what's that? What happens in that? Explain that robbery that goes bad and how you get caught.
Oh man!
See, you just wants to skate over it. You know, it was robbery.
I end up. I'm in Robin Hood, the neighborhood that I'm telling you that was nicknamed for this type of activity. We had a dice game inside of a car wash. My homeboy shot at Trap and Reggie car wash. The tourists came by. They made a U-turn. I ran out the car wash. I was on my last little dig. I had lost some money, and I smashed the window. And I grabbed the pocketbook. I got away. But I'm wanted for that robbery right there, right? Then I pulled another robbery within the same week. I was talking about it. I pulled the same robbery. I'm wanted, but it's right near my school, Miami Central.
Wait, so the guy, wait a minute. So the guy makes a U-turn, you run over, you smash.
It's no guy, it's a woman, makes a U-turn.
You smash the window.
I smash the window, grab a pocketbook. I get away.
Okay.
But you know when it happens, the woman gonna report it.
Yeah.
The police gonna come. Somebody's gonna identify you.
Okay, so that's
one of the security ladies that worked at the school seen me do it in traffic because you're doing this stuff broad daylight in traffic. You don't know who's sitting in the next car.
Yeah.
You don't know who's sitting there. So I'm wanted, right? They already looking for me. I end up pulling another robbery near the same neighborhood, but it was near Scott Projects. And I end up getting roped off.
What was that one? What happened there?
Stand, smash, and grab. I caught tourists in the light. It's the same thing. It's not gonna really change because we're doing this on the spot. Back then, it was nothing to see broken glass everywhere in Miami.
Right.
At a gas station, broken glass. At a stoplight, broken glass. At a garage, broken glass. Cause I wasn't the only one doing this.
Right.
You know, and like I just terrorized the whole Miami. It was neighborhoods invested in doing. Everybody I knew was doing this.
I just went the tourists. So I went to England when I was. Well, I mean, I've been a few times, but I just remember this one specific time. It was with my brother-in-law, and we had parked a vehicle. We got out of the vehicle, and the guy was pulled in really close, like behind, right? Like real close. Like, how the fuck are you going to get your car out that close?
Right.
So, and when he got out, my brother-in-law was like, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" Like, and the guy's like, "Hey," he said, "Oh, you'll be fine." And so we're going back, and he's going back and forth. I'm just standing there, and I just remember my brother-in-law starts really yelling, right? Like way more aggressive as an American than a European and an Englishman. And in the middle of it, my brother-in-law is like yelling, like getting aggressive, and I remember the Englishman goes, "Sir, civility, civility," and be civil. And I mean, he looked at me, bro. We both burst out laughing, and we were like, man. We just walked off like we're just a couple of fucking American savages. So for some reason, when I see you breaking a window and grabbing these people's stuff, I hear them screaming, "Civility, civility."
Hey, but Mac, I don't want to sit here and lowball myself like this. My story is so right, and the whole angle of me coming to your platform and wanting to share my story is because it's layers.
Right.
It's just a progression of me coming from poverty out of Miami, making some choices that everybody in my neighborhood was making. Right. I end up going up the road.
Yeah.
When I mean going up the road, when I actually got out my last time before I got out the state joint from doing the time that I'm telling you about, I actually got into some what we would consider on some big boy stuff. Like I really had got into a transition and saying, "Hold up, man, I'm tired of this robbery shit. This lowballing myself. You know what I mean?" And every time I come hot and go in, come out, the game is changing.
Well, it's progressively getting worse.
No. Because to be honest with you, taking people's stuff, robbing is worse.
What? Well, I think the severity of the charges are the time is getting worse.
Not only that, to me, it felt like I felt like I wanted to change. I came in the game robbing. I came in the game hustling. I came in the game robbing, and I kind of like felt like it gave you a bad feeling. Who want to be known for grabbing pocketbooks, doing this, doing that? It's level, but when you're from Miami. Mm-hmm. This is the progression of criminal activity. And the line to my story, if you let me, I will get to what I'm trying to say.
Sure, I
know you're not stopping me, but I don't want the viewers to sit here and say like, "Oh, this is son." Cause I'm 50 years old.
Yeah.
I spent most of my life in prison. I got out from these robberies, and this you really want to laugh. I started selling drugs, right? On a major level, or what we consider Miami boy type stuff. I started doing when I came out the next time. My homeboys not grabbing pocketbooks.
Yeah,
all my homeboys that's my age now is going up the road on some real Miami boy shit. You know what I'm saying?
How old are they at this point?
We 21 at this time. You see what I'm saying? I started out from elementary school with you on this. I'm giving you a corner, and then I end up going into like junior high, needing money. And it's all out of poverty. It's all about the bad choices I'm making. I'm not proud of these things that I'm doing. Right. But I'm doing it out of desperation. I'm doing this out of the poverty. And I'm also doing this because this is what my environment around is doing. Either you selling drugs or you're robbing.
Yeah, it's a product of environment.
Product of my environment. So now when I come home, my homeboys done leveled up. They moving major way. I got homies that's going to North Carolina. I got homies that's going to this part of Georgia. Homeboys that's going to Tennessee. I got family members that's doing that. And Miami being a source city, we're getting major. It's plenty drugs down here, but it's not enough places to sell it. It's not enough. So what we're doing now is branching off up the road, which you get entitled being a Miami boy. When you get to these other cities, Tampa, Georgia, Pensacola, you know what I mean? These places, I want to do that now. You know what I mean? So now, but this how my mind is working. I feel like I'm legit now. I feel like I'm legitimate now. I feel like I'm becoming a citizen, upper class. Like I'm really. I'm looking. I got married. I'm raising a family, but I'm a drug dealer.
Right.
And I'm moving weight from Miami to Tennessee, Miami to Panama City, Miami to North Carolina.
Are you realizing though? So let's I understand what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, I understand what you're saying. You're saying robbing is worse than selling drugs, and I agree with you.
I definitely
because I feel like the people that are involved in the drug trade, for the most part, are willing participants. The people buying the drugs are willing. The people that are moving the drugs are willing. The people nobody's doing this. There is no. I hate to say no victim. They're all kind of in some form or fashion a victim. But there's no real serious, hey, I'm a complete 100% victim that's hit me over the head. I had no idea what was happening. As opposed to robbing a tourist or anybody. Like, I feel like that's extremely personal. But when I say severity, I mean, you realize you rob somebody, you get a couple years. You get caught with fucking 2 kilos of powder, you're going away for 10 years. Like, it's a major...
That wasn't how it was in Florida.
Okay.
In Miami, you could get caught with... I had homeboys get caught with keys and get it 364.
What's that?
364 days in county jail.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't that serious. What was serious was robbery. You gotta remember, Florida, not just Miami, it's a tourist attraction. You taking away from the biggest the economy, winning, you know what I'm saying, part of Florida attraction. Yeah. So you could get a bond for selling drugs in Miami. You couldn't get a bond for robbery. Look it up.
Okay.
So and then another thing, I never really, only reason I was chosen, the victims that I was telling you I was chosen, there was no repercussion behind it.
Because they're going back home.
They're going back home. It's easier. You know what I'm saying?
They're not coming to a trial.
And then, I still want to hang out. I don't want no smoke. I don't want to be in a war with my homeboys because I slayed on one of them and I robbed one of them. I did this and I did. I got cousins, I got families that's doing that. They can't hang out. They can't go to the club. They can't go here. They can't go there because they got enemies. This British person don't know me. This Japanese lady don't know me. This, you know what I'm saying?
And she's not coming back for a trial. She's not flying back across the fucking Atlantic.
Right. They wasn't at point, but technology stopped all that. They started charging us and they started having video shit that we doing right now, and the victim don't have to come back. They created ways to do it. So when I made, like any other criminal, we get in there and we think of ways to be a better criminal, be better, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I said, when I got out this time, I'm going legit. But in my mind, legit is selling drugs.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I got me some work, which is Miami, it's cheap. And I hit the road. First spot I went to was Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Did you know people there?
My homeboy had family there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we took work up there. Did that. That was like 96. Then I opened up me a little spot, got my little homeboy. We started a little dope hole in Miami together called Gigaveli, because we had designer drugs down in Miami. You know what I mean? We didn't just we had names on our drugs. You know what I mean?
Are you fronting this, the drugs, or they're paying you?
They paying, I'm not fronting nothing.
Okay, cool.
We got a saying, cop and go.
Okay.
That means pay for what you have right here. They know what I mean? I'm not fronting anything. I'm not the man.
Right.
I'm just a hustler. The feds made me realize I was never a kingpin. I was never a top-level drug dealer. I was just a hustler. When you supplying the whole city, then you're a drug dealer. Understand the difference.
Yeah.
When you're just making it, you getting your brick, half a brick or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You're a hustler. And I don't care what you say or what you think. You hustling. You know what I mean? The drug dealer is the one that you're going to buy that brick from.
Okay.
You understand the difference?
Yeah.
So it was one of the most time I seen most money in my life. I did a lot of robberies, but when I started going to North Carolina, went there for a while, went to Panama City for a while, then I really found my home base in Knoxville, Tennessee.
How much are you moving a month on average? I mean, I know it varies, but I mean, is this like a key a month or two? Or
listen. if I'm driving 16 hours, right, down to Miami to buy me a brick, you know what I'm saying? I'm paying 19 at the time. Sometime the homies show me a little love. I might get for 18.5, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm also getting other things. I'm getting vitamins, what we nicknamed vitamins at the time. You know what I mean? I'm talking about them.
like
them X things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting that. I'm getting me a little tree. You know what I mean? That's the loud. So I'm taking all this up. My white girl might move faster than my ex pill. So however long, I'm not in no rush. One time I took one down, like I told you, I paid 19 for it. I sat up there and trapped it down to about 80-something thousand. You know what I'm saying? One brick down to 20s and balls. You know what I'm saying? So if it takes me a month, cool. I'm not in no rush.
It's still fucking over $60,000.
Come on, I'm not in no rush. You know what I mean? I got a family. This time I'm married. I got a family I'm taking care of. I'm what you want. I want you want to say I'm hood rich.
Right.
I'm not wanting for nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not worrying about the price of gas.
$60,000 a month is a little bit more than hood rich. $60,000 a month is fucking. That's like, you know.
I'm making more than $60,000 a month.
Oh,
I just told you.
That's like $1 million a year, practically.
If you look at it, but you ain't counting it up like that. I done had $250,000 sitting on the bed. Me myself, but I'm a one man show. I'm not a whole. I don't got a whole team of guys with me. I'm doing my own shopping. I'm doing my own transporting. You know what I mean? I'm my own lab. I'm my own breakdown man, and I'm keeping everything within home. Only thing I gotta do is make sure I don't come down at my homeboys and show them too much.
Because you don't want to be a target.
I don't want to be target. That's how the game go.
So I have a question. Your wife knows what's happening?
Yeah, she part of it.
Okay.
She my wife and my co-defendant. I did 200. I ended up catching like 262 months in the feds. Me and my wife at the time was co-defendants.
So I'm gonna ask this question. I've asked this question a bunch of times. I just want to see if you give me a different answer. Like, what are your, like, is there like are you thinking like in the long term or in, and I've asked this question a bunch of times, and everybody basically says, you're not thinking 2 years away. You're thinking getting through the next day, the next week, the next couple of days. If I can get through this week, is that what's happening? Or you? Because you can't think. You're seeing people. I know people around you.
Getting knocked off.
They're getting knocked off. You have to know at some point this is going to come to an end. I mean, are you thinking along those lines? You're just thinking he got busted because he's an idiot. He got busted because his cousin told on him. But you got a good crew.
That's a good question. And I often laid in my bunk in prison and wonder why didn't I never stop here? Why that's when the ifs and shoulda kicked in when you're laying in there with that type of time. And the best way I can answer that for you is you're more addictive than the actual people you are selling. The lifestyle is an addiction. You see what I'm saying? The power you feel. I was in my spot in Knoxville, Tennessee. I was running a label ready. What I mean by that, the time I opened my door, I had my man that washed my rims on my car. You know what I mean? I had my guy that took my garbage out. I had my guy that did this. And all of them depended on me. If I don't eat, if I don't come out and bring the food, nobody eat. You know, that you feel a sense of responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Everybody depends. And that's what a lot of people don't realize when they see people that sell drugs. I mean, how I was raised up. We take care of our people. We take care of our neighborhood. We take care of, nobody lights get cut off. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, that might not be happening, but the era that I came, the era that pulled me, that I was attracted to, the street guys that I looked up to, the OGs that I like, Big Trap, Convertible Bird, Boss Man, you know, these type of cats, you know what I mean? Bo Diddley, these kind of cats, Ike. These you might have heard of some of these names when you was in the Fed, but these made Rick Brownlee, these type of cats, they was buying construction companies. I did have an end goal. I was thinking I had started my own business when I was selling drugs. I had a lawn service. I was looking into getting a car detail shop. You know what I mean? But you never quite get there, and it gets to where I'm finna lead you at right now. When I got there 262 months. I was tired. I was tired of the life that I was living. In and out of prison, selling drugs, robbery, all that came to the head, and I embraced Islam. And you were not even thinking, why everybody go to prison and become a Muslim? It worked for me. It gave me structure. It gave me discipline. You know what I mean? It helped me find a spiritual space, right? And I looked at it, and I looked at the choices I was making, and I realized it was all a lie. It all was a mirage from the devil. You just never know. I don't care how you could get into this game and get into this life of crime and think that you're gonna win. I don't care who you are, and that's my message to the young people that I be out mentoring now through my books and through my platform, what they do podcasts, through the 500 role models that I be out to the young guys that I talk to every day. So anybody that's watching this, I told you my life, not into glorifying or sitting here proud of things that I did, but it led me to become the man that I am now. And when I laid in there, I realized you're never going to win because you're on the wrong side of a higher law.
Okay, so let's go back because you just jumped forward.
Okay.
So this is going on. You're a drug dealer. You're really also a drug. You're trafficking. You're moving the drugs from different places.
Right.
And so you've got different spots. And like, how does that come crumbling down? Like, does somebody get busted and then they wear a wire?
Man, it's funny. It's funny. You never, and I just spoke about the devil, you never see how it's going to unravel. Remember I told you I wasn't a drug dealer. I was a hustler.
Right.
I would sell you sand on the beach. If it was a profit in it, I had, remember I told you I was a labor ready? I had people that was going in stores, stealing clothes, boosting. And I would buy the whole, they'd go and grab the store and I would buy all of it, then I would resell it. So the funny thing, I was coming back to Miami, one of the times that I was coming to re-up, one of my homeboys had some fake foreign money. You can look this up in my paperwork. He had some counterfeit money. I said foreign, counterfeit money. And I'm sitting there waiting for him to serve me up a half a block. You know what I'm saying? I was going, and I never buy a whole one from one person because, like I told you, I didn't want to let my homeboys know how much I was working with. So I went with him. I had enough to get a whole one, but I'm gonna get a half from you. I'm gonna go over here and get a half from him. And I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna get some vitamins from my homegirl over here. So he as he get my package ready for me, he comes out and he shows me some fake 50s. And he was like, look at these, boy, you know what I mean? Woo-woo. So he wanted me to give him 300 for 1,000. And I'm thinking, I didn't need it. I got a pocket full of money. I'm fresh in town. I think I may have about 30,000 or something on me. You know what I mean? Every time I come in town, I show love to the family. I go around, I shop, I buy me my work. I take my little date. If I got a date with me, I take her on South Beach. So I'm like, fuck it. Give me 3,000 of it. You know what I'm saying? And my co-defendant then, which was my wife, she trying to be just like me. She grabs 3,000 of it. So now we got 6,000 of fake money that we didn't need, right? Mm-hmm. We end up getting back. We end up getting trafficking back. Get all our work back up to Knoxville. When we get to Knoxville, she's an ex-booster. I mean, going into stores. I don't know why I was attracted to it, but I'm attracted to her. We was Bonnie and Clyde, basically. She do her thing, I do my thing. So she's taking the money and going into the stores and spending the money, but she's getting away. The money is good money.
Right.
But once it makes it through their system, it alerts the dealers, the store, that somebody's working counterfeit. So she's going back, and this is a small town, Knoxville. I don't know if you've ever been there, but they got an East Town Mall and a West Town Mall. Yeah. You ain't got too many places to be, you know what I'm saying? Now, she ended up, I had some, but me, I'm funding my money through the young cats that's coming to me buying weight. They come to me and buy a few ounces. They have some change. I'll give them a fake 50. Funny thing is, some of the money started making its way back to me later on, and I'm watching it, but I can't scrack it with the little pen and say, right, oh, this is fake, because I'm the one putting it out there. But she tell me, she said, come run to the mall. This I'll never forget, it's 2004, because I ended up catching my case in 06, but I got 2 cases. I got an 8-count indictment. So I end up going, she said, come ride to me around Christmas time. I want to take a few gifts back to Dillard's. My stomach was fucked up. I'm like, man, I should have, like, now when you lay back and you think about things, like, it was all kind of warnings. I didn't really want to, and I never liked going to the store with this woman because she's a klepto. I could have a pocket full of money and like we could be right at the check-in counter and she'll start stealing motherfucking the little shit that be right there by the cash. And I'm like, you really finna put that in your pocket, right? Like, you know, and you talking to a guy that had balls enough to rob at a red light. But I could not steal. Like I cannot steal. I could rob you before I could steal from you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense or not, but she's in one part of the department store. I'm over looking at my favorite design, Polo. So I'm over there in the Polo department, and my phone, back then we had the flip phones, and my phone started vibrating, and I see it's her number. I'm like, what the fuck she calling me for? And I look over, and I could see her in another department, but it's these two big white guys with her right now, right? And I'm not really paying attention. And they start walking towards us, towards me. And she got these 6-inch heels on, right? And I'm paying attention to all this, and the guy, the one big guy, he got the black shirt on, like kind of like you got on. He was like, "Excuse me, sir, is this lady with you?"
Nope.
And no, that's my first thought. Hey, Matt, that's my first thought, Matt. Matt, that's my first thought, right? But I know I ain't did nothing, so I'm like, what the fuck she done did now? I'm told this one about stealing this shit. Like, that kid's stealing. So he like, is this lady with you, sir? And the first thing is what you just said, no. And I'm thinking about going towards the door. Right? And I look down at her feet, and I see these 6-inch heels on. I'm like, she can't run with me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
you bail her out.
I'm not thinking, Matt. I'm not thinking. But
so, somebody's got to make it.
I'm not thinking, Matt. So we I say yes, and he said, do you mind coming with us? My mind like no, but I'm like, of course. So now mind you, I got a gun in I had a Monterio Sport at this time. I got a gun in the Monterio Sport. I got some rocks in there too, a couple 8 balls of shit in there too.
This is a vehicle.
This is the vehicle.
Outside.
It's outside. And I got the key. No reason I'm telling you.
How are they going to connect you to the vehicle? But you.
No, the reason I got the keys. And when they taking us back, every department mall has a back area. You'll find this out if you ever get in trouble, but it's got a security area. And they takes us back there, but they not the police.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, what's going on? I'm looking for her to give me a signal like, what the fuck this is about? You know what I mean? She's looking all the way, looking all scared and shit. So we get back there, and the man say, we have a report of someone passing fake money, you know what I'm saying, counterfeit money. And we got a description of her. They had the cameras and shit where she passed the money. And I'm like, what they got to do with me? You know, I know what I'm saying? He was like, they have reports from the other mall, and I hadn't been to malls with it from the other part of town. She's been hitting the Dillard's. So they had me coming in the Dillard's with her at another location. So it said it's a man and a woman.
Still, I haven't passed any bills.
Man, listen.
She's got, sounds like that's a her problem.
That's a her problem. It is. But I sit there like a damn fool. I'm locked in now. There's no way out. We in the back part of this place. The police come. This how I go fed. When the police come, they tell us that the dealers want to charge us for passing. I'm sitting there like trying to explain. So at this point, I asked to make a phone call. I said, can I make a phone call? So all I'm thinking about is bonding out now. You know what I mean? Right. So I called her mom. Her mom was living with us at the time. I called her mom, and I say, Nana, I say, I instructed to where I had one of them little box safes that you get from Walmart, the kind that had the lock on the safe boxes. I had one of them in the attic, and I think I had I had a couple. I had a piece of change, like my re-up money and stuff in there. So I tell her, I say, if you go up there, me and Luke, we getting ready to go to jail. I'm gonna need us to bond us out. So they took that phone call, and we went to jail. Mind you, I told you a few days before Christmas. We went to jail, right? And they took that phone call and went to a magistrate and got a search warrant for the residence, saying that I was instructing someone to move evidence pertaining to counterfeiting making machinery. And they went and bust the house. We had a bunch of stuff. I had so many guns there. Like I had a bunch of guns there, drugs there, pills there.
And you're a felon. You're not supposed to have those. Yeah, so that's a problem.
And I went fed.
Okay.
But I bonded out on that case. I was out on bond on that case, and I told you I had an 8 count. That's 04. 06 coming. I'm out fighting the case.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's state now. It ain't fed right away. And I catch another drug and gun case.
How does that happen? What's the second one?
The second one is me serving my little young cats. My little young cats that buy the little work from me. I'm in the plaza near one of my trap houses. And somebody reported me, one of the neighbors, because there's a bunch of these young cats. I shouldn't have even pulled up there. They normally come to me, but I was buying dog food for my dogs, and I went up there, and a couple of them rushed my truck, and one of the nosy neighbors that had been calling about the traffic up there called the police. The police came up there. I ran on them. They got my truck, found a gun and drugs in my truck, and I was already out on bond. You know, so when I went to state court,
It's no good.
I never seen the daylight till 2021.
Well, and then the feds come in and pick up the counterfeiting.
They picked
or
up
everything.
Everything. I got an 8 count indictment. I got 2 924Cs, which is possession of firearm by a felon, in commission of another. That's a 924. In commission of another felony, I got a 922G, which is possession of a gun by a felon. 922G,
Yeah.
a 924C. I got 2 of them for 2 different cases, from the 04 case and the 06 case.
This is already bumping it up from like 15 to 25 to 30. Are you at 30?
Man, listen, if I didn't took a plea bargain, I would face, if you get 2 924Cs, they stack them. If you get 2 of them, you could get a mandatory 25 years.
Okay.
On top of whatever you got for drugs or whatever case. That's not the gun charge. That's the enhancement. The gun charge is a 922G.
Okay.
A possession by, that's a 920. Do the
That's
math.
5. Is
That's
that 5? Okay.
To also being 7. If you brandished it could be 7. If you discharged it, it could be, you know what I mean? If you fired it could be 10.
It's complicated. So what's the total? When they stack it all together? It would have been
I ended up with 262 months, but I was facing life.
Okay, but you by a plea deal, you got that down.
I got it down. They took a plea. They took the 3-point separate responsibility off. You know how the sentencing guideline go.
Yeah.
Separate responsibility. You got one side of the guideline that says severity of the charge, and then you got the other's criminal history. And then you land somewhere in the middle. They go on the chart, and they pick out your time.
Where's your wife fall?
Oh, she got slapped on the wrist. 18 months. I took all the charges.
Okay.
I told him everything in the house was mine. This is in my paperwork. Everything in the house was mine. I don't think guys do that no more. Like, guys really not taking the charges.
Yeah,
when it comes to the female.
The first time I got in trouble, I took the charge because my fucking lawyer. It's like at the time I thought it was a dick thing for him to say, but now I think he's just the greatest. He said my wife had like 3 bad mortgages in her name. She'd borrowed $500,000, but I got some friends of mine wore a wire on me where they get me talking about making documents for her loan. When I go get my lawyer's like, listen, I mean, they got you on wire, but she's the one with all the mortgages. She's the one that committed the fraud. She's the one. He was like, how good is your marriage? Like, and I was like, no.
But I thought they couldn't. I thought like in the feds, like I was married.
Right.
They couldn't make her or make you
testify
against her or her testify against you, right?
No, yeah, but I mean, what? First of all, we're already getting a divorce. It's already bad. So I was like, look, and I know she really didn't do anything. She just signed the papers that I said, hey, sign here, sign here. She knows what's going on. But and I know that's her story. It's always been her story. To this day, if I call her today, she'll be like, I didn't know anything. I'm gonna stop. So I was like, no, look, I'll take the charges. If they'll drop everything on her and this and that, and so he said, yeah, but yeah, if it happened again, I'd be visiting her. I come to visit her. I'll put money on her books. I'd be like, I don't know what she was doing.
Right.
Sounds like she got a problem. But when you just said that you took the charge and your wife, I had a guy that he and his wife, they were running an ice lab, and his name was Thomas, and his wife, they both agreed to take 15 years, right? 180 months. So she goes in first, does her whole thing, comes out. He goes in. He hears that she got, I want to say 10 years. And so he was like, man, she was supposed to get 15 years. She got 10. Like, wow, good for her, right? So it might have even been 5. I want to say it was 10. Matter of fact, I want to say she got 10. But whatever. So she got 10 years.
Right.
He goes in thinking, maybe I'll get 10 years. Of course, what he finds out later when she went in and it was her turn to talk, her lawyer had said she got involved with the wrong guy. She got involved with this guy that was hooked on these drugs that convinced her to help manufacture the drugs, blah, blah, blah. It's him. She's a victim, Your Honor. And so the judge was like, I agree, and gave her like 120 months or maybe 60 months. I don't know, whatever she got less. He goes in, and so he's thinking, wow, that's great. I just heard she got less time. But his mother was in the courtroom. His mother's just looking at him like, holy shit. Like I just sat through your wife saying it was all your fault.
Crazy.
So he goes in, and when they're like, what do you have to say for yourself? And you got this old judge sitting, what do you have to say for yourself? You want to talk? And he's like, I was hooked on drugs and I started manufacturing, and my wife and I, we did it, and we got caught, and, it was wrong, and I just want to get out as soon as possible. And, and he's like, oh, okay. And he gave him 240 months. And he's like, and so his lawyer, when the judge says, this and this and this, 240 months, his lawyer looks at him and goes, you okay? And he goes, yeah, I'm fine. And they leave. The marshal locks you up, right? He puts the cuffs on you and walks you out the back, that long ass fucking hallway, back to the marshal's thing. Walks in there. He said, I walk in there, and of course these are the same guys he's been with. They all know he's getting 180 months, or he's getting 15 years. He's been saying 15 years. And he walks in there, and they go, what'd you get, man? He goes, no. He said, I got what I thought I got. I got 15 years. He has 240 months. And they went, 240 months? And he's like, yeah, 15 years. And they go, no, 240 months is 25 years. And he goes, no, I'm getting 15. I got 15. He goes, you just said 240. He's like, well, that's what the judge said. He goes, yeah, and he goes, out there, and man, he said, I got on that fucking, the cage, hey, I need to talk to my lawyer. Hey, the marshal, shut up, yelling.
Right. It's too late now.
Oh yeah. By the time he finally talks to his lawyer, it's like, yeah, your wife, they blamed everything on you. She got whatever it was, 5 or 10, and the judge just basically took kind of must have thought, well, whatever, just gonna put it on him, and he yeah, but see, it was the same.
It's crazy how they do that munch shit. They try to make you swallow it like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to sit there. I did the easiest thing for me to do is 120. I know 120 is 10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 120.
But you know what I'm saying? I've never heard of the opposite where somebody's wife said, no, I'll take the charges.
Oh, no.
Never.
No. I got a homegirl, man, that she's been gone for like 30. Her name Gloria. You know what I mean? Miss Glow. Miss Glow been gone like 35 years now, and she for a drug charge in the state of Florida, man. Bring Miss Glow home, man. She stand up. There's a lot of females do that, stand up harder than these cats, especially in this era. But man, I'm gonna be 100 with you, man. Like when I got the invite to be on your show, man, it was an honor because I know I like what you're doing over here, and I like the content. My thing is to share my story. I'm very compelled to try to change lives out here. Like like when it comes to the young people, man. Like that's what I'm on right now. I'm really, really on. I speak about it, and I want the viewers to really understand. Criminal activity, the choices that I made wasn't things that I done from a place of knowing better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why I gave you that timeline from elementary school. From poverty, I know I looked at your show and you had a lot of heavy, like I watched your show faithfully. You know what I mean? You're doing great things over here. And I watched a lot of people come here and you look at their story and you like, but I seen one story you had the older guy on here, right? And I think he was a kid or something, he smoked or whatever.
Oh, and I know he's talking about he was robbing the
Yeah,
the White
Oh,
Castle,
7-Eleven,
right,
7-Eleven.
right,
Castle, whatever,
right.
the drive-throughs.
Yeah.
And he spoke so good, and you invite your platform to not just the big, but anyone that really has a story that's engaging, and I just hope that my story be looked at from a point of view of letting them know what I'm doing nowadays. You know what I
Right.
mean? What even those spaces. Cause I look back. Sometimes I look at myself from outside looking in, and I'm like, was you really doing that? Was you really? Because I'm a better person now.
At your age and at my age, when I look at the stuff that I used to do, I think, how the fuck did you have the balls to even, like, I would never.
Right.
Never.
Right.
I would be terrified now because,
Right.
I don't know if it's just because I'm older or it's because I know the ramifications. I always joke around that they ought to teach a class in middle school. They ought to teach the sentencing guidelines in middle school. They ought to have that class because guys would be like, nah, man, I'm just doing a little this, a little. Oh, that's not.
What they tell us all the
add it
time? What
up.
the judge say? Ignorance to the law.
It does.
There's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
excuse.
no excuse. Doesn't matter. But these kids, they don't have any clue. I also think that, and I think I've mentioned this a few times. Colby and I always say, look, I would rather have a guy that was selling dime bags and got into 3 car chases and was in and out of jail and was raised in the projects, but he can tell his story more than a guy that ran $100 million Ponzi scheme, but he can't tell his story.
Can't talk. Can't
First of all,
articulate
right.
himself.
Right. He's it's. I think it's more about the story. I think you get more out of a story, and also if you have a story, you have a real way to convince people and to move people if you're able to tell that story.
Right.
And I also think that the guy, these guys that get out and they rebuild their life, like if you're a guy raised in the projects, take your story.
Right.
You're a guy, you go to prison. So raised in a bad area, single mother household, everybody is selling drugs or robbing people. No real father figure that not a good representative of a father figure, right? Like he's not working 40, 50 hours a week, as a plumber or something like that.
I told you my dad was strung out on dog food.
Right. So
one of the worst form of drugs that I ever seen.
Right. And so he's not a good male role model.
Right.
So, you see that kid that grows up like that and he ends up dropping out of high school, getting into trouble, does a couple of minor bids, ends up going to prison for 15, 20 years, never really had a job, not a real job.
Right.
Not, maybe busboying or something, being a busboy, but that's not like a real job.
No. Startup job.
Right. And then suddenly he gets out and he's 45 years old and he has to start his life over. That guy gets out and becomes a plumber's helper and does that for a few years, and then he becomes a plumber, and then he starts a plumbing company, or doesn't even do that, just works for a plumbing company.
Right.
And he's making $100,000 a year because plumbers make $150,000.
That's what I promote now, trade skills.
Absolutely. That's what there's that famous quote that says that the next batch of millionaires are going to be plumbers and electricians.
Facts.
So, but that guy, that's more impressive than the guy that was raised, went to all the right schools, became a financial manager, ripped off some of his clients, let's say he got fucking 10 years or 15, gets out when he's 45 years old and restarts his life and he's ultra successful. Which one is more impressive?
The one that didn't have anything,
Right.
no resources. The
Right.
one that
The
talked
middle
about first,
class?
the middle class.
No, I'm saying the middle class guy.
No, not the
You
middle
expect
class.
him to.
I'm talking about the guy that made it to the middle class now.
Right,
But you,
right.
You expect him to come out with the tools to make it.
Right, because he never had any.
The more impressive story is the first one,
Yeah,
like
he
you
didn't.
said.
He didn't have much of a chance to begin with. Exactly. The kid in the projects didn't have much of a chance to begin with. And I'm not saying that everybody in the projects. There's lots of guys that go to the projects. They get a regular job. They end up being a middle class American. They're the backbone of this country, and that's great. Good for them. But the guy that went to prison, got out, and was able to restart his life, I think that's more impressive than the guy that was already raised upper middle class and got out because he already had all the tools at his disposal and probably has at least a semi-support group, right? Like that guy in the projects gets out. When he gets out, the guys that are willing to reach out and help him They're trying to give them work.
Try to get more work.
They're not saying, hey, I'll give you a loan for 10 grand or 20 grand. They're saying, I'll give you some work. It's like, you're just getting me back fucking, I'm just going to go back to prison.
You know, to help you out with that, I always look at, even though I'm a hard critic of myself, I always have to give myself what you just gave, the grace that you just showed the person that come with them limited resources, right? It's only two kind of cats in these streets, Matt. Those who chose the streets and those who the streets chose. And what I mean by that, in my situation and guys like myself, a lot of us, the streets chose us, right? What I mean, you know, it's like we gravitate to what we know. But when you got like that middle class guy you saying that didn't have to make choices like that, he had all the opportunities, both parents there, all the resources, and then he decides to go do wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He chose to do wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't know better, so I couldn't do better. But now that I know better, I'm doing better, Matt. I'm doing better. I'm doing better, and I'm doing better for a lot of people around me. And I like the man that I am now. You know what I mean? And that's why I was so excited to come on your show, you know, and to tell my story, because I want to encourage guys. I got guys that look up to me, inbox me, write me every day that's in prison that knew how fucked up I was in prison. Like I didn't even get into the stories of the fights and the shit. That's what I'm really known for in Miami. You know, jailhouse fighting from juvenile. I've been going to juvenile since 8 years old. I've been knocking dudes out in Dade County Jail, Stockade. Like, I'm really known for that type of violence. Don't let the glasses fool, don't let the fool. I'm really more of a violent person.
Mm-hmm.
But like I told you, since I embraced my Islam, then I'm institutionalized like a motherfucker. Like I'm one of those. I don't like my shit touched. You know, you done been around the guys like I'm very, very possessive about what is mine. I got a routine. I still eat cup soups. I still get up in the morning. I still work out. Like, I'm hooked on certain shit, but I hold on to the good institutional parts, habits that I built, and I let go the ones that is not.
So wake up at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Still get up, man. Yeah. Still get up. Still pray 5 times a day. I'm safe in that.
Yeah,
I'm safe in that routine.
Yeah, I would say my people would be like, "Why do you get up at 5?" I'm like, "Well, that's when they turn the lights on." You know,
how much of that shit you hold on to, Matt? Though now,
right now. So it's been 6 years. This is funny because I know, I don't know if I doubt you still feel this way, but I know you felt this way for the first year or two. Around 4 o'clock, did you start feeling uncomfortable? Like I'm supposed to be in my cell,
right?
And for the first year, if somebody knocked on the door and I didn't know, like wasn't expecting anybody, suddenly there's boom, boom, boom. My first thought is, they know they fucked up and let me out. They're coming to get me to bring me back.
Right.
If they open the door.
Phobia.
Yeah, if they open the door and there were 2 marshals saying, Matt Cox, turn around, I wouldn't have thought, I'd immediately turn around. I wouldn't, before I even asked, what's this about? Because I would be thinking to myself that, well, you know, there's a reason. I mean, I don't know what it is. Obviously, maybe I still owe a few months, or maybe they.
You almost feel like you deserve the life you have right now.
Oh, that's an absolute given. I won't even talk about that. Right. I'll start crying.
Right.
Things have gone so well.
Right, but you did this, Matt. Look at it like this: if you're an institution, you ever heard the saying "you in the way," or the ones that can't adjust? If you're in an institution for the years that we spent in the institution, decades, right? And you do not become institutionalized, you're not, something's wrong with you. You're in the way. People that's not institutional, people that don't become reformed to the institutionalization,
they're just bucking the whole time. They're gonna have a hard time.
Crash them. They're gonna have a hard time.
They'll never be okay anyway. Because for you to become kind of institutionalized, you have to be able to come to that point where you realize, like, I'm better off going along with the system.
Exactly.
I can't fight it. So I need to go along with it and make a life in here and get into that routine, because the routine's not bad, you know, unless you get sick. The only thing about it is if you get sick in prison, it's the most unfucking forgiving place.
Hate it,
because it's not like you're like, hey, I'm not going to go to the rec. I have a cold. I want to lay in bed today. They're like, if you sleep hot at night, you know how disruptive that can be. Whether you're having trouble falling asleep, you're waking up sweating in the middle of the night, or all of the above. That's where Ghost Bed can help. As the makers of the coolest beds in the world, Ghost Bed is your go-to for cooling mattresses, cooling pillows, and cooling bedding. From their signature Ghost Ice fabric to patented technology that adjusts to your body's temperature, every Ghost Bed mattress is designed with cooling in mind. So whether you want a plusher mattress that cushions your shoulders and hips or a firm option with exceptional support, your Ghost Bed will keep you cool and comfortable all night long. When you purchase a Ghost Bed mattress, your comfort is guaranteed. You can try out your mattress for 101 nights, risk-free, to make sure it's the right fit for you. Plus, they offer free shipping, and most items are shipped within 24 hours. If you're not sure which Ghost Bed is right for you, check out their mattress quiz. You'll answer a few questions and get a personalized recommendation. Just visit ghostbed.com/Cox and use code Cox at the checkout.
Fucking ass.
Get out. What are you doing? Make your fucking bed. Get out of here. Or I'll give you a shot. I'll have you thrown in the fucking chute. And you're like, they're like, put in for medical. Yeah, I know, but it's going to be 3 days. If I got sick in prison after the first couple of years, I didn't even put in for medical. No. I just go get some
throat nozzles. Some shit like make some tea.
Write it out.
Make some tea and put some orange peels inside the fucking thing and get on about it.
Right, because by the time you see them, you're already on the mend. They can't help you. And all they're going to do is tell you to take some ibuprofen and get some cough medicine on commissary. Like
that's one of the worst feelings in the world, being sick in prison. Right, but you, like you said, you got to adjust. You got to keep going. Routine. Everybody's upset when you breaks the normal routine of prison. Mm-hmm. Everybody's upset with you.
But did you also realize after a few years, or maybe maybe it takes 10 years. I don't know when it was, but at some point I started realizing, like, I can pretty much deal with anything. Like a human will be able to kind of acclimate to any environment and be okay with anything for a prolonged period of time, where it's just really about just keeping yourself entertained and occupied, and
That's why I just told you, if you don't become institutionalized, something wrong with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to deny it is like not being truthful with yourself. I sit in the same spot every day in the tea room. I expect this. I got a routine, and that's how I am in the world now. And some things I'm learning to adjust to. Some things I ain't. You know what I mean? But some things I don't care to. Like I really don't care for. I really appreciate a lot. I smile when motherfuckers are, like you say, we could put up with more shit than a lot of average people now.
Yeah. Oh wait, were you out for COVID?
No, I was still in for COVID. COVID. I mean, I could tell you some stories about COVID, man.
People were complaining about, I can't even leave my house in a week. I'm like, fuck, you're in the comfort of your house.
Yeah, you got a refrigerator to go to. You got your bed right here, anything. But I seen some hurt. I was in Atlanta. Did you go through Atlanta?
Yeah.
So you know how fucked up. Oklahoma is cleaner than Atlanta. You went to Oklahoma?
Yeah, Oklahoma's like a brand new facility.
Like a brand new facility. But Atlanta, I was in Atlanta for COVID. Mm. Me and the rapper BG, all of us was in there like. And it was nets. I remember the styrofoam plates, right? I actually wrote about it in my book, Pressure. Styrofoam plates, Federal Press. I got 2 books. But styrofoam plates with nets flying around because the guy in the cell got COVID, right? And nobody wants to go to his cell. The guards or nothing. Right? They just steadily putting styrofoam trays in there. And it really wasn't nobody's staff working, so they giving us cold. We might get a hot meal once a week on lockdown and on COVID. It was fucked up. That's another reason that deterred me to say, man, I'm not going back.
No, they'll let you die. There was just a bunch of people dying.
Joker was dying in there. Mm-hmm.
Well, and then almost all the guards started taking retirement, like, and quitting.
The first guard that died was from Atlanta. Okay. The first CO that died was in Atlanta from COVID.
I don't know how many died in Coleman, but several. So I mean, there was one guy's name was Thomas. I remember he died. He was like 6'6" white guy. Total fucking asshole, and he got COVID and died. He was overweight, he was just in a bad spot. Older, overweight, died. There were several guards that died, and then they all just kind of started quitting. And then the new guys that came in, you're paying some guard $35,000 a year, maybe $40,000 a year, which isn't a lot of money to go into a COVID infested place.
Right.
Like, of course, these guys start bringing in cell phones. They start bringing in. Next thing you know, when I was locked up, I bet you there weren't 5 cell phones out of the 1,800 inmates. I bet there weren't 5 cell phones. Now, my buddy Pete had said when he was there, he said the last sweep that they did, they found 300 cell phones.
Easy.
That's just what they found.
Easily.
Out of 1,800 guys. That was unheard of when I was there.
I worked in laundry.
Oh, okay.
Laundry is an artery.
Right.
Laundry got access. The campus bring up all our supplies. I might get re-indicted if I tell you what I fucking made in prison. But it's more money in prison than it is in streets. It's lubricant down there, man. I'm talking about, hey, but that's why I laugh at a lot of guys now, like a lot of my homies that reach out to me and be like, hey man, send me something. If you was in the county jail, I'll send you something. You know what I mean? You in prison, man, if you're not hustling, you on drugs, you on something. Like I don't need no money.
Right.
I don't need no money in the Fed. My family just didn't have to. If you sent me something, you sent it because you wanted to. I didn't need no money.
What was your goal when you were getting out? What was your goal for hitting the street? What were you thinking?
I had a plan. What we doing right now? I'm not here by chance.
Yeah.
I'm here by purpose.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? For real though.
Right. I know.
The phones that you was talking about, I was on my cell phone in there studying social media.
Okay. See, I had no clue.
I wrote books. I wrote 2 books while I was in. My first book is called Pressure. It's my life story leading up me to going to the feds. You could get that on Amazon, you know what I mean?
Right.
With my name, I hope y'all plug it in the link,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But my first book is called Pressure because I came out on a mission to lead the young cats that come up like the projects out the streets that got my story, the ones that I told you that don't chose the streets. I'm here to save the guys that the streets chose. Cause the streets don't love you. The streets gonna send you where we been at, or it's gonna send you to that patch of grass. You know what I mean? Like I tell people on my podcast, I got one too. I tell them what I talk about is graveyard serious and penitentiary still hard. You know what I mean? So I wrote my second book, Federal Pressure. And that talks about my stay in the federal prison when I was a tutor. I was out Florida City, Arkansas. I was a teacher aide. There I was helping guys get their GED. You know what I'm saying? So I elevated in spite of where my start. I just told you where I started from. I started from the riots. I started from poverty. I started from selling cans. You know what I mean? Stealing out of the store, going to juvenile at 8. I end up being a teacher aide. I come home. My plan, you asked me what my plan was? My plan was to come home and be active. I got out on the First Step Act. I supposed to still been in prison this year, 2025. I had 262 months. I went in 2006. I did 17 years. You see what I'm saying? When I came home, I prayed to God. I said, if you let me out early, that I was not going to be part of the problem no more. I was going to get out and I was going to start being active. And a lot of guys laughed at me saying, them young guys not going to listen to you. I got a lot listening to me right now, Mac.
Okay, so what was the second book?
My second book is called Federal Pressure.
Is that about being in prison?
You listen to the book, Pressure.
Right.
From growing up from a kid, from being a dog food baby, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To state prison, to boys' school and all that, right? To me going to federal pressure. Federal pressure is you could go in a state courtroom and you sitting in there and there's many families in there, babies crying. You've been in the federal courtroom. Mm-hmm. You step in how like nothing is out of order. It's beautiful, it's immaculate in there, everything. That's a different level. You just said it yourself. That's a different level. They're not playing the feds. They handing out certain type of numbers, man. For drugs, you were saying that. You get a drug charge in the state, 3-4 years. You starting at 10, 20, 30 years in the feds. So I named my book Federal Pressure. Which says on that indictment, the United States of America versus you.
So you got out, you knew you were going to start a podcast?
I knew I was gonna start a podcast. I knew I got out. I started doing my messages and stuff on an Android phone. Now I got one of the fastest growing podcasts in Miami called What They Do Podcast.
Are you interviewing
celebrities, business owners, true crime stories, anybody that wants to share, but I'm selective on the type of true crime stories that I do. I don't want guys just popping their collars, sounding like they're glorifying the streets, trying like, if you're doing something positive, if it's leading into a narrative where we could send a message out, I want you on my I want you on my podcast.
I feel like most of the guys that we have, not all, but most of the guys kind of have a turnaround story, except for Zach.
Yeah.
and Cook. Now Cook. Two fucking
these are those two are both your guys.
Yeah, both my guys. Yeah, here. Yeah, both my guys. Two guys that I was locked up with in prison came on the podcast. Good stories, good storytellers, funny.
Right.
Zach just, the guys in prison they call can't get right.
Can't get right. Crash dummies.
Yeah, that's Zach can't get right. Gets out, gets a regular job, kind of, they're shitty jobs.
Right.
But gets a job. We try and get him to start a YouTube. Got him to start a YouTube channel. Goes back to, it gets caught on a fraud charge. He's a fraud guy. That's how we became.
Right.
Fraud charge, goes to prison, goes back to jail. Eventually gets everything dropped, gets himself out of jail, violates his federal probation, still gets back on federal probation. He's out 8 months. Maybe I'm gonna stretch it and say a year. Maybe a year. Same thing. We're trying to get him going on his podcast. Boom. Another a couple fraud charges. Goes back in. Now he's hopefully getting those thrown out. Still violated his federal paper like the last month of his federal paper. So he's got to face that, whatever that is, getting out. And I mean, I just want to just.
But Matt, let me ask you something, Matt. Listen, Matt. I'm sitting over here with you. I got gray in my beard. I done told you I spent most of my life in prison, right? Like, one thing I told you, I studied social media. It's things that we say on this camera and we put up on social media that we gonna have to live up to. I got grandkids. You know what I'm saying? I got family members. I want people to remember. I want to be left. I want to leave something here that even the things that I spoke about, those chapters out of my life, but they don't determine my full story. You understand what I'm saying? So when my eulogy come and it reads then that's the end. Then you could judge me.
Right.
Don't judge me by mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here and I'm on this journey I'm on, and I'm here with a purpose, and that purpose is just to try to prevent as many young cats that comes from neighborhoods like myself from ending up in places that me and you end up going. If I do that, if I do 1 or 2 a day, or if I do that, how many ever I do a day, man, I feel completed. That's what I came out to do, man. Sharing my story. We all got stories. If some of it, guys, if it's funny, it's funny. If it's humorous, it's humorous. But that's what you want to be known for. I'm not a comedian. You know what I'm saying?
I love to laugh.
I love to laugh.
But
I'm not a comedian, though.
I understand. I'm not a comedian, but I like to listen. I have to look back and laugh at some of the things
some
I
of
do.
it is funny.
Even if it's not funny, sometimes you have to laugh because it's just so pathetic or so fucking stupid. Or so, what was I think? Just the same thing about going thinking like at the time, I total confidence walked in. And now I look back and I think, fuck, what were you doing? How did you even have the guts to do that? Like So I laugh at all kinds. I think it's better to kind of laugh.
I'm not serious. I love to laugh. I love what you do. Like I literally is honored to be here. Glad I was able to meet you. I love the success that you're having over here. I read your comments. I be, you know what I mean? Like I told you when I walked through the door, man, I'm a fan of your work. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
I only see nothing but great things in front of you. You know what I mean? With this platform and what you try. You know what? Did you know? Let me ask you. Did you know this is what you were gonna do? When you thought about this?
I had a version. It's like you're saying. You kind of had a plan. Like I had a plan, but I also didn't understand social. Okay, so your prison experience. You probably had a cell phone. Mm-hmm. You probably were. I didn't have a cell phone.
I didn't have it in my whole bed now.
Right. But I mean, if somebody even said, "Hey, man, I got a cell phone," if you was
scared,
I'd be like, no, I'm scared.
I was like that when I first got presented one. I was like that too.
Yeah. So I'm not interested. The only thing I kind of know about social media is like watching a little TV. You find out there's Facebook. Facebook had been out about a year before. I'd never been on Facebook. YouTube had been out about a year. I'd never been on YouTube. And YouTube wasn't what it is now. Right. YouTube at the time was people were putting their home movies and shit.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
it,
How to fix a car.
Exactly.
Yeah. YouTube is like a fucking channel now, real channel.
Oh, of course, yeah, it's huge. So, but I didn't know that. I eventually figured out that there was something called a podcast that were coming out. People would give me magazine articles. I'd read it. I was writing stories, writing true crime stories, like my fellow inmates who some guy robbed 20 banks. I'd write a story. So it was how I was that was my routine. Right. This is how I'm passing my time. I'm collecting these stories. I'm writing books, writing guys' stories. And so when I got out, I knew I wanted to start a podcast. Didn't really know what that was. It was not this.
Right.
And even in the
It
halfway
evolved
house.
to this.
Correct. That's exactly it. It evolved because what I had envisioned in really that vision kind of started. I knew I wanted to start one, but the vision didn't start till I was able to get on a phone. And even then, what I thought I wanted wasn't doable. Like nobody's going to come, a big time production company's not going to come, and they're not going to dump $300,000 into a podcast for me, some guy who's in the halfway house.
Shitting you.
Well, when I was in the halfway house, I was nobody.
Okay,
right,
yeah.
so I couldn't pull that off
at
that time. And that evolved into this. And I love this.
Right.
You know, and this is great. And so it's a yes and no. I did have a plan, but you have to be flexible.
You gotta go. Yeah, I mean, but you didn't have all, like, you could sit in prison and you could daydream.
Right.
You could sit in prison, you could fantasize. It's better than sitting in there and focus on the madness that's going on. I love to think out when I was in prison. But until you get all the facts and get around your team, because it take a team to do what you're doing, and then they tell you about some of the things that you don't know about, then it revolves.
Yeah. My goal in prison was much more humble than yours. So mine was that, but like I said, you were way more plugged in than me.
Right.
You had a lot more information than I did.
Right.
My goal was get out. You're going to live in a rooming house. Someday you'll be able to get a 1-bedroom apartment, and you're going to get a job, and maybe you'll sell used cars or something. And if you're lucky, you'll be able to, maybe save for your retirement. And mine was very.
You know why yours was like that? We two different kind of hustlers.
Right.
You were white collared, right? Me, I'm used to getting it out the mud. So while I was in prison, guess what I was doing? I came home with a bag.
Oh yeah.
I built the house as soon as I got home.
No, I don't.
Know what I'm saying? I just told you I worked at laundry.
Yeah.
You didn't think I milked the fuck out of laundry?
Yeah. But see, you were doing all that in prison. Like
that's what I'm
nothing.
trying to tell you. So you said it right. I'm agreeing with you, Matt.
Yeah.
I did have a head start on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was plugged in. I'm gonna always be plugged in. You know why? Because I get it out the mud.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a different, it's like you put me in a certain environment and sit you in a certain environment and not saying anything, disagreeing with you, I'm gonna make it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You went to an environment where we was and you made it, but you wasn't in certain. I was in them big pens too, Matt. You know what I'm saying? And like at the end of the day, it's and I told you I'm a very, very, very violent man at times when need be, but at the end of the day, right? I prepared to insert because I done it more times. How many times you been locked up, Matt?
Once.
So I knew what I was up against.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? How many times I told you I've been locked up since 8 years old? I've been going in and out. Even though I did some chunks, I knew ain't nobody was gonna have nothing for me. I wasn't planning on staying in nobody's basement because I was gonna milk the fuck out of the system while I was in there. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was a changed man in a sense, I just told you I went from robbing to selling drugs, and I thought I was legit. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm telling you, I'm still right now dealing with institutionalization.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I really, really, really don't like being, I'd rather do what me and you are doing because we could turn this off and go about our business rather than being in a club or at a ball game or anything. I don't like crowds.
No.
I don't like noise. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain things trigger me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about, Matt.
Yeah,
Your viewers may not, but you know.
No, I know exactly what you're. I'm always turn the TV down, turn this down. I'm quiet.
Noise.
I want peace. I don't want to. I don't like going into crowds. I feel uncomfortable in crowds.
I'm looking for what. I'm already looking at what could happen.
What could happen? Yeah. Where's the exit?
Where the exit?
Yeah.
You've been there though. You've been there.
Oh my! Listen,
you were made to adapt, though, Matt.
Yeah,
you weren't built for it, but you were made to adapt.
Some people, but like you said, some people aren't. But they'll never adapt to anything.
Right.
They're going to be in and out of prison, bumping heads the whole time.
You a thinker. Anybody that's white collar, anybody that think, prison is about thinking. It ain't more physical than a lot of people think it is.
Right.
Because there's a lot of physical people that don't think. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you ever heard Pinky and the
yeah.
Beans? You heard Pinky and the Brains?
Yeah.
Pinky was the smaller one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or Pinky, which one was the smaller one?
It was a smaller. The brain was the smaller one.
Pinky and Pinky was the big one,
yeah.
right? There's a lot of Pinky and Brains in prison now. Sendots. We call them sendots.
Shoot.
I got him thinking. I got Matt thinking about
some shit. All I'm thinking about is I'm kind of thinking about funny stories. I'm thinking about Jess and I. Like we were so just fucking broke. I remember one time I met my wife in the halfway house.
Right.
She did like 5 years for a drug conspiracy, and we start dating
in the halfway house.
No, we start dating just after the halfway house. But we met. I'm liking her in the halfway house. She's not having it. But so it takes about 6 months to a year after I get out, we start dating. But I mean, one time we go, and in the halfway house, everybody's got their backpack.
Right.
You're traveling around every place you kind of go.
Came one.
Okay, we still got them. But I remember one time we go to a hotel, and we go to the hotel, and as soon as we meet there, so she pulls in, I pull in, we both get out, we both have our our backpacks. And I'm looking and I'm noticing and I'm like, oh, she still got her backpack. I'm like, so do I. Go upstairs. We go upstairs, put our backpack down, and start to unpack our stuff. We both pull out our clear, like the whatever your
see-through shit.
Yeah, the see-through. We both have the see-through pouch that they sold at Coleman.
Right.
We both have it. We both
Still
pull it out.
the
Same shit. And look at it. And I go, you still got your such and such? She's like, yeah. Why wouldn't? She's like, it's still
Y'all
good.
so much alike.
Exactly. We're just like. Listen, I still have the blue jeans that I bought in the halfway house when I went to Walmart. In the halfway house, I went and bought a whole new wardrobe from Walmart, and I still have the blue jeans. It's 6 years later. I still got the blue jeans.
Man, I got a homeboy named Gingerbread. He from Chicago. He's not my homeboy. He did 31 years in prison. I may introduce you to him. Now, he got stories. Vice Lord, man. Shout out to Gingerbread if you watch this, right? Gingerbread still got all his fucking grades. If you think I suffer institutions, he live with 2 dogs now. That's his only company. He got out and stabbed the guy inside for calling him the N-word inside of a drive-through. He almost violated, right? The man been gone 31 years. When I met him, I'm talking about, he's big Vice Lord out of Chicago. I'm definitely gonna plug you in with him. He's Gingerbread got all his grades. I could video him right now, and it's all neatly in his closet. Fuck that. He one of the ones working the leather room, make the leather purses and shit. You ever seen a lot of them guys that been going lifers and shit that crochet and
oh yeah,
bad. He's one of those motherfuckers, but very violent dude, but. You make leather pocketbooks.
I threw away my grays because it had my reg number on it.
I think Gingerbread still got some of his rec numbers on it, man. For real. I'm gonna plug you in with him, man, because he's fucking institutionalized. I had to call and check on him. I got a lot of homies that I called and checked on that's fucked up worse than me on the institution. Like we call and we check in with each other and we make sure we still holding on to this rope out here.
Yeah, I think I'm better than I was now, but I keep thinking about when I was in the halfway house and I was just mentally, and everybody would always say like you're aggressive, and I'm like I'm not aggressive, I'm assertive, I'm not it, but you get locked up, you stop saying thank you, you stop saying please, you stop yo let me get that, let me get that. And you get out, and I took my buddy, he was like, you gotta calm down. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm not a gangster. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean aggressive? I'm not aggressive. They're like that. That's aggressive.
Only thing that I still got to work on, I eat too fast now. Like everybody got to remind me to slow down, and I'm like kind of over the table a little bit. So it's little etiquettes around eating, it's little things like that. I'm trying to break away from.
So I have a question. Your organization, do you have other guys that were locked up that mentor people, or is it just you?
It ain't just me, man. It's an organization that I'm associated with. I'm my own entity, but I associate myself with other organizations. This one called the Brother of Circuit Hood. Shout out to my homies, Sonny and all them down there, Jay and Brother of Circuit Hood in Miami, doing great things in Miami. They walk the neighborhood. They conflict reflectors kind of like. If they find out there's a beef going on in the hood, they kind of frontline it and get in the gap with it and try to deter the young guys. Shout out to my homeboy Screamer, man. He had Bikes Up, Guns Down in Miami. He just recently lost his life in front of his place of business. He's our Miami Nipsey Hussle right now. I'm talking about literally last week. It's like we just buried him. You know what I mean? He started an organization called Bikes Up, Guns Down. He had young kids going out cleaning the graveyards, doing a lot of great things. You know, like I told you, I'm part of the 500 role models down there in Miami-Dade County. I speak to I go to high school. Wherever I'm needed, I come. I fill in the gap. I go in the streets. I report in certain things. I interview certain people. I share my platform. What They Do podcast is the fastest growing podcast in Miami-Dade County, hands down. And I started it.
Hey, you guys, I appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified of videos just like this. Also, we're going to leave all of OG's, all of his social media links. We're also going to leave his Amazon links for his books. And we're going to leave the link for his YouTube podcast where he interviews other guys that have inspirational stories. Also, if you're interested in being a guest, we're going to leave our website so you can go to the Be a Guest page. You can fill out an application, leave a short video, and we'll get back with you. Thank you very much for watching the podcast. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. See ya.